Have you ever heard a strange noise in the middle of the night and wondered if you were truly alone? For most of us, it's just the house settling. But for some, it's the start of a story that defies explanation. Today, we're not just talking about any spooky house. We're journeying to the heart of what many call the most haunted house in the world, the Whaley House in San Diego, California. What makes this place so terrifying? It's not just one ghost story. It's a whole collection of them, layered one on top of another, turning a beautiful historic home into a paranormal hotspot. So lock your doors, turn on the lights, and get ready because we're about to uncover the dark secrets of the Whaley House. Before it was ever a house, the land itself had a dark history. In 1852, this spot was the site of a public execution. A man nicknamed Yankee Jim Robinson was convicted of grand larceny and hanged right here. The problem was the gallows were set too low. Instead of a quick death, Yankee Jim slowly strangled for nearly an hour, his feet scraping the ground. It was a gruesome, botched execution that left a permanent stain on the land. A few years later, in 1856, a man named Thomas Whaley bought this very plot. He knew about the execution, but he was a pragmatic businessman and didn't believe in ghosts. He saw a prime piece of real estate in what was then the growing heart of San Diego. He built a beautiful, two-story Greek revival home for his family, using bricks from his own brickyard. It was one of the finest homes in the area. But from the moment they moved in, the Whaleys reported hearing heavy, disembodied footsteps moving through the house. They believed it was the restless spirit of Yankee Jim, still wandering the property where his life was so brutally ended. The Whaley family themselves were no strangers to tragedy. Just a year and a half after moving in, their young son, Thomas Jr., died of scarlet fever at only 18 months old. His mother, Anna Whaley, was devastated. Visitors and staff have reported hearing the sounds of a small child crying or running through the halls, believed to be little Thomas. Then there was Violet Whaley, one of the Whaley's daughters. In 1885, at the age of 22, she took her own life in the house after a failed marriage and public humiliation. Her spirit is one of the most frequently cited. People see a sad, young woman in a long dress, often in her former bedroom on the second floor. They report sudden feelings of overwhelming sadness, cold spots, and the faint scent of perfume, leaving a lingering sense of her profound sorrow. But the list of spirits doesn't end there. The house served many purposes over the years. It was San Diego's first commercial theater and the county courthouse. This meant countless strangers passed through its doors, and some, it seems, never left. The courtroom, located on the second floor, is a major paranormal hotspot. Visitors often feel a strange, heavy presence here, as if court is still in session. Some have even seen the ghostly figure of a man standing near the judge's bench or shadowy figures sitting in the jury box. Is it Yankee Jim, who was tried on this property? Or perhaps other men who faced justice within these walls? The energy here is described as tense and unsettling, a place where the weight of past judgments still hangs in the air. And let's not forget Thomas and Anna Whaley themselves. After living lives filled with both success and sorrow, they both died in the house years later. Their apparitions are seen frequently. Thomas, a tall man in a frock coat and top hat, is often spotted on the landing of the staircase or in the downstairs parlor, looking distinguished and perhaps a little concerned, as if he's still watching over his property. Anna Whaley is often seen in the garden or downstairs, a gentle presence who sometimes leaves behind the scent of lavender. Unlike the more unsettling spirits, the Whaleys seem to be more like spectral hosts, forever tied to the home they built and loved, a permanent part of its living, or rather, unliving history. It's almost as if the entire family decided to stay, their joys and their profound tragedies echoing through time. The sheer volume of paranormal claims is what sets the Whaley House apart. We're talking full-bodied apparitions, disembodied voices caught on audio recordings, objects moving on their own, and phantom smells of cigar smoke and perfume. The grand piano in the music room has been heard playing by itself. The chandeliers have been seen swinging when there's no draft. Windows and shutters have latched and unlatched on their own, right in front of witnesses. Even famous paranormal investigators and skeptics have been shaken by their experiences here. The late, great Hans Holzer, a pioneering ghost hunter, investigated the house and declared it genuinely haunted, confirming the presence of Yankee Jim's spirit. Regis Philbin, the famous TV host, once visited and had a personal encounter he couldn't explain, seeing a misty figure that he believed was Anna Whaley. So what is it about this place? Why is it such a magnet for the supernatural? Some theories point to the traumatic events, like the execution and the family suicides. This is known as the stone tape theory, where intense emotions and events are thought to be recorded into the fabric of a location, replaying themselves over and over. Others believe it's a combination of so many different tragedies occurring in one spot. It's not just one event, but a layering of sorrow, anger, and loss that has created a powerful vortex of paranormal energy. The land was marked by death before the first brick was laid, and the house itself became a container for the family's heartbreaks. It's a perfect storm of paranormal ingredients. The house is a historical landmark, beautifully preserved to look just as it did in the 19th century. When you walk through its doors, you are literally stepping back in time. This historical preservation might be key. By keeping the environment the same, are we also helping the spirits feel more at home, encouraging them to stay? Modern technology has only deepened the mystery. Ghost hunters armed with EMF meters, thermal cameras, and digital voice recorders flock to the Whaley House. Their equipment frequently lights up with unexplained energy spikes. They capture electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, which are faint voices not heard at the time of recording. Voices have been recorded saying names, like Jim, or short phrases like "get out." Photos taken inside often show strange orbs of light, shadowy figures lurking in doorways, or even faces peering out of mirrors. While orbs and shadows can often be debunked as dust or light tricks, the sheer consistency and clarity of the evidence gathered at the Whaley House is hard to dismiss entirely. Each piece of data adds another layer to the chilling narrative that something otherworldly is happening within these walls. So is the Whaley House truly the most haunted house in the world? The U.S. Commerce Department officially classified it as haunted in the 1960s, which is a pretty wild government endorsement. Magazines like Life and Time have featured its spooky stories. Ultimately, whether you're a staunch believer or a hardened skeptic, the story of the Whaley House is undeniably compelling. It's a place where history, tragedy, and the unexplained all converge. The house stands today not just as a museum of San Diego's past, but as a monument to the stories that haunt us, the memories that linger long after we're gone, and the eternal question of what happens after we die. Would you be brave enough to spend a night there? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this ghostly tour. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the paranormal, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries. See you next time.